the focus of tonight's angle. Now, we all know that 80s nostalgia is all the rage. You know, we saw it with the success of the smash series Stranger Things on Netflix. We saw it with the box office domination of Maverick, that new Top Gun film. And even the Trump campaign's political slogan harkened back to that storied age.
You and your forebears built our nation. Now, please help us rebuild it. And together, we'll make America great again. Thank you very much.
And at my high school reunion in Connecticut over the weekend, many of my classmates, they remarked about how grateful they were to have grown up when we all did. It was pre-cell phone, it was pre-computer, just friendships, rivalries, you know, triumphs, heartbreaks, of course. But given what's happened, especially in the last few years, no one seems to want to be a kid growing up today. Things have just gotten too crazy. Somehow parents and or authorities in Plano, Texas, with kids all around, allow a drag queen to perform this. Now, parents have always had to be vigilant about protecting their kids' innocence, but being a parent today, and I'm one, it's hard. It means making sure you work overtime to filter everything that your kids are looking at. It's almost impossible, but you try. Including these educational podcasts from today's trendsetters.
And we're on day 167 of Girlhood.
Mr. Hollywood, I'm right here.
Hollywood, zoom in on that. Hi, friends. Welcome to the Beauty of an Ulta Beauty podcast, where we talk with the pioneers who are helping us redefine what beauty is.
I know I can find love. I know I can still be a performer. I know that I want to have a family. I want to be a mom one day. And I absolutely can.
No, you absolutely cannot. But facts don't matter anymore. The left wants to force your kids to live in a brave new gender-bending world. Things are totally off the rails here, and Democrats are driving that runaway train.
There are cis men, hetero men out there that follow me and message me and say, I identify as a cis hetero man, but I want to feel soft. I want to feel beautiful too.
I want them to.
I do. So I'm like, don't confuse my sexuality with my gender expression.
Right.
Ever.
And that's where it's like there are men in this world that can wear dresses and be feminine and all those things. That doesn't make them trans.
Got it? I noticed that Pee Wee Herman-like set that they were on. Now, if you have issues with any of this content being available to minors or being discussed in school with minors, then the White House will target you as a hater, mean, you're not being inclusive, you're not normal. Because this, they say, is normal. Well, that's the non-binary drag queen who serves as one of Biden's deputy assistant secretaries at the Department of Energy. Now, none of this makes sense, to most Americans at least, but then again, this is our vice president.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
Yeah, that's our vice president. Got the pronouns? Yeah, she got them right. Now, Democrats make a huge mistake here. Instead of keeping the far left at bay, like frankly Obama did on most issues, they embraced all of it. You saw Kamala there? And now liberals are caught between a rock and a hard place because now Muslim American mothers and fathers in Dearborn, Michigan, they've joined the culture war.
Well, how do these books even end up in our library? That's the biggest thing. I mean, these books are really bad. When I'm looking at it, I cringe.
Focus on raising our rock-bottom test scores and do away with exposing minors to sexually explicit material.
Where is the math? Where is the reading? Where is the history? Where are the strong values?
This could be the time that Muslims start voting with conservatives and against the racial and gender theories being force-fed to our kids in the classroom. This is ongoing educational abuse, and it's only outdone now by the ongoing abuse being done to innocent Americans by criminals who are running free. The depravity, the total lack of humanity, it's sometimes almost too much to even watch. I turn away. And At this point, we see people being pushed into oncoming subway trains, beating people just for the fun of it. Destroying property just because they can. I found the sound to be really disturbing as well there. And yet the mayor of New York thinks that rising crime is mostly just a manifestation of an unreasonable state of mind.
Actual crimes, those 8 homicides, and we're dealing with the perception of fear that people are feeling. We can't get away from the fact we have 3.5 million people using our subway system. We have to be honest about that. And those average of 6 crimes a day is not giving the impression that our system is out of control.
Now, this is why Hispanics and African American men are beginning to question their former allegiance to the party that coddles criminals and criminalizes parents protesting. Cities are becoming unlivable and in some cases unrecognizable. Independent journalists like Savannah Hernandez are documenting this, the new normal. People overdosing as thugs pick their pockets.
Are you on hold with 911? I'm going to call too, just to... Oh, she's actually talking. That's got to be her.
This is what Portland, Oregon looks like now. With drugs legalized, the once clean and beautiful city is a wasteland in parts, littered with trash, human waste, homelessness. The drug addicted are everywhere. And Oregon's liberal gubernatorial candidate, Tina Kotek, who Biden just campaigned for, she's supporting the construction of a meth stabilization center. See, for Democrats, that counts as infrastructure. It's always a cause for Democrat celebration when more Americans are doing things like smoking pot. The younger, the better. Pot is also part of their new normal. That's why they're sponsoring initiatives to legalize it in 5 more states this election cycle, which would bring the total to 24. So many Americans are so stoned on a regular basis that maybe they won't even know anymore or care anymore about how bad things have gotten. Just talk to the police in Denver. Ask them how great pot legalization has been there for traffic fatalities. Since 2012, when recreational marijuana was legalized in Colorado, traffic deaths where drivers tested positive for marijuana increased by 138%. So Democrats haven't just laid waste, though, to the economy. They've laid waste to everything else. The culture, our safety, our schools, our children's innocence, all of it. Literally nothing that they've touched in the past 50 years has improved. It's all going down the tubes. Unless, of course, we stop them at the ballot box. And I'm talking about places like Connecticut, of course, Oregon, Washington State, Arizona, Texas, Illinois, Michigan, and more. Even in races where they told the Republicans they had no chance to win. Well, guess what? They do have a good chance to win now. In Minnesota, Republican Dr. Scott Jensen is creeping up on anti-business and pro-criminal incumbent Governor Tim Walz. In Connecticut, senatorial serpent Richard Blumenthal is being seriously challenged by Republican Leora Levy. And in liberal Washington State, conservative Tiffany Smiley actually has a pretty decent chance of beating that feminist fossil Patty Murray. So this could be historic, but only if enough Americans want it to be. It's time to end the depravity and the despair and restore accountability, safety, and prosperity to the country we all love. And that's the angle.